we are very diverse as a global collective, right? We've got different cultures, we have different religions, we have different beliefs in a plethora of different avenues as to what it is to be human, right? The one thing that we can all agree on right now, whether we like it or not, is that we all need money to buy bread and eggs. Whether you're in Afghanistan or America, you need money to buy bread and eggs. So off that basis, that's one of the core primitives in this modern human condition, right? So what Bitcoin has done and what the original founders have done is they have tapped into that need. And they said, okay, we're going to utilize that. We're going to take human beings' desire to profiteer, ultimately greed, and we're going to commoditize it, and we're going to turn that into a security model. So you've now got a scenario in a network that basically no one's willing to set fire to their own wallet. And we're going to see just how much and how deep these wallets go. And I want to leave the audience with an image that they can maintain and relate to and reference back to as this hash was transpiring, because this can go on forever, right? Well, not forever, but this can go on for a long period of time. This ain't a one-day thing. This can go on for weeks. This is going on for potentially months. Now, this is a game of tug of war. On the one side, you've got SV, Craig, CoinGeek, Enchain. On the other side, you have a fragmented conglomerate. You've got ABC, you've got Jihan, you've got Bitcoin.com, and you've got small pockets all around the place. And a lot of the hash power that they're going to be utilizing isn't even their hash power, it's rented hash power, right? And arguably, questionably, legally borrowed hash power. So as they're playing this game of tug of war, I know Craig is never letting go of that rope. He's never letting go of that rope. It doesn't matter how much these guys want to tug. He's never, ever, ever, ever letting go of that rope. And I don't understand, irrespective of how people feel about him on a personal level, I still don't see how common sense hasn't prevailed. This guy is allegedly a fraud and fake Toshi. He speaks technobabble. Now he's managed to, in a matter of months, put together a client, get together the necessary hash power. He understands, and they are fighting a good fight. And he believes in what it is that he is doing. And he's willing to see it through, and he will deploy billions to make this happen. They already have structured themselves in that way. So that then leads to the question, why is it so important right now for the ABC side to keep hold of the rope? Why is C2OR that important? Why is maintaining 32 megabytes that important? Remember, we've already done test of scaling way beyond 32 megabytes, successful test of scaling way beyond 32 megabytes. Why is it so important? And this is really the narrative that people should stay on and keep jabbing and picking at. Look into Bitmain and ask yourself that question. Why is he going to hold on to the rope? Look into ABC Amri. Why is he going to hold on to the rope? Look at Roger Ver, Bitcoin.com. Why is he going to hold on to the rope? And how long for? Because are they going to spend billions to introduce CTOR?
No, not in my opinion. It's exactly what you said. It's that Stackelberg game theory. There's always a first mover. And I think Craig's been very, very strategic at this moment in time. But like you said, the balance sheet doesn't lie. From our own internal analysis, we know Bitmain have massive, massive liabilities, regardless of their token holdings. That could even be why we've seen some sort of selling pressure. Do they have to sell tokens to pay off these short-term liabilities or not? One thing that I firmly agree with you is Craig's hands are super glued and handcuffed whilst being sellotaped around that rope. They are not coming off. Yeah, I'm firm they're not coming off. And I think there's going to be a big, big shock to the industry when the flippening does happen.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even spoke about a reorg attack. I mean, everybody here is thinking, oh, great, we're 30 blocks ahead, we're doing great, we're winning. I mean, right now, who knows? Is there somebody shadow mining ABC? Now, I know they're trying to implement Checkpoint, but as far as it's not been implemented, we're probably still quite a while away from that coming in play.
Yeah.
So
It has only been released today.
So
They didn't even give
just on
them
that
to
point
us.
as well, just another potential game theory scenario out there is Bitcoin.com borrowed hash power, right? And it said within 24 hours, we're going to borrow this hash power, right? Every block stamped, confirmed by Bitcoin.com on that borrowed hash power is legal evidence, immutable legal evidence that you took something that you shouldn't have taken. Especially if one of those stamps happened outside of those 24 hours. So go ahead, because you're stamping, you're telling us legally what you have done in order to try and win this tug of war. And this is what I mean. They don't have the incentives aligned with a deep bank balance. Bear in mind, do some DD on Calvin Air and his stance and his position and his liquidity, right? Let alone just Craig, just two guys, right? They're aligned. These are friends, brothers in arms, doing something to make the world a better place. They're going to use tactics, cheap tactics that aren't even their own tactics, in order to try and maintain and keep hold of that rope. So like these are things that need to be factored in as well, because whereas one, you got Roger Ver on camera like laughing, claiming victory, and all these people like thinking that they're claiming victory, maybe this was part of a plan. Maybe you are stamping these blocks and that has now become legal evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're going to be served soon. How long are you going to keep hold of that rope if you're being served? You want to try and start giving him the rope back. I say, sorry, mate, just back off.
But you're gonna have to give that hash power back at one point. I mean, you cannot, if that is not yours, how long can you maintain that? How long can you actually borrow this hash power for? That's the real question. I think we've all established that Craig's and nChain's hash power belongs to them. So that's a big question. How long can borrowed hash power stay? I mean, is Jihan using S15s that are going to be shipped in December? You know, there's no way to find out. But if that's the
I think
case,
there's a high probability of that being the case.
then December.
We haven't got confirmation, but I think that's a high probability.
Then we might see in December the hash and power drop. I mean, if the hash and power starts to drop closer to when these miners start to get shipped, we know he's now just shutting down some farms, cleaning up some fans. I mean, this is something that's happened before with the Chinese manufacturers. They used to not even bother cleaning. They used to send the miners with dust in the fans. I mean, this is stuff that a lot of people in the early days of Bitcoin we're very used to. You'd be waiting a year on the waiting list and you get your machines used.
Avalon, right?
Yeah,
Is it
Avalon.
G-hash mining.
Yeah.
That's it. G-hash mining.
And even if they're not
Butterfly.
using those, they're borrowing. In order to borrow in an ethical manner, you've got to incentivize someone by sticking on a premium more than they
But
would make.
I thought about this, right? So in order for them to make it okay, you pay over the odds to silence people.
Yeah.
But if I thought that this was a possible scenario and this is part of the game theory, I'll be one of those people. And I'll say, you can't pay me off. I'm suing you.